guys, I'm with 2 Pro Beats. It's been I think a month since I got my MacBook Pro. I've used it just for video editing. Today I want to do a really basic, simple test. I want to take a project from my Windows machine and open it on the MacBook Pro to see how it reacts. I want to show you how I transfer the project from the Windows machine to the MacBook Pro and other things, problems that I encounter when trying to do this. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to do is find a project that is already mixed and see what plugins I have inside it, see exactly how much CPU the project is taking on my Windows PC, because I want to do like a really basic non-scientific comparison. This machine that I use now, I have a video on it, you can check that out. It doesn't struggle with any sort of mixing that I throw at it. It just works flawlessly until I just add a crazy amount of processing. So as you can see, this is not a pretty big project with just the MP3 beat and a few vocal tracks. I have just a few plugins that are CPU hungry, like Suit used on the vocal bus, but beside that, nothing too drastic. And as you can see, the CPU is hovering at around 40%. That's pretty good. Let's play the track just to see if I have any CPU spikes or anything like that. So no problem for the Windows PC in handling this sort of project. Everything is really smooth. No dropouts and nothing. On this Windows PC I am using an RME Fireface UFX Plus, and that's a really important part of how this machine performs, because RME drivers are probably the best in the industry when it comes to the Windows platform. Let me see what buffer size I'm using. Since I don't record, I just don't bother using a really low buffer size. I don't care about the latency, I don't care about that. Right now the buffer size is at 512. That's pretty low. I usually go a bit higher than that. It helps with the CPU. The buffer size, you can increase it when you have a really big project that's really CPU intensive. I usually keep it how it is now. I don't have any issues with the drivers. Now what I have to do is transfer the Waves plugins from that machine to a USB stick, so I can move the licenses between the two machines easily and without a hassle. Then I have to set up the MacBook Pro with the interface, move the project between the two machines. Let's just do it. So this is for my Waves licenses, a really tiny USB stick, so I can just easily transfer the licenses. Now I have everything on the table. MacBook Pro, headphones, the stick with the project, the stick with my Waves licenses, and the iLock with all the other licenses for my plugins. Then we have a USB hub for the MacBook Pro because it doesn't have any USB Type 2 or Type 3. It only has USB Type C. Audio interface, Arturia audio fuse. I will have a video on it really soon. And I got this because with the MacBook you are really limited in terms of connectivity, and my hub has only 2 USB ports. In the back of the audio fuse I have 3 more, which is pretty amazing. Let's build this entire thing up and let's see how the project works. Plug it in. Nice. So I finished setting up everything. The setup looks a bit messy. I don't like this USB hub. I think I need to get one of those really slim ones. I think that will work much better for this type of setup. I have copied the project onto the desktop. Now I want to open it up and see if it works. One thing that you should know is that I will have the capturing software on the Mac running. I don't know how that will impact the performance of it. I will probably miss a few of the plugins that I have on the Windows machine, a few plugins that work only on Windows, so those will be missing from the project. Headphones on, it's loading, so I think we're in a good shape. Let's see if we get any error or anything like that. I really hate headphones, I don't know why. I really don't like the feeling of having headphones. Some files are missing. Let's locate those, accept. So I'm missing a few plugins, but not that many. What I'm really interested in is how this setup performs when you try to work on it. So I'll just play the song a bit, even though I am missing a few plugins. Let's see the CPU inside Studio One. As you can see, the same project without a few of the plugins. I'm missing Stereo Delta, not that CPU hungry. What else? RX7. I'm missing Spiff, that's not used in the project. The delay, the retro, Cleverb plus insert on the master of Ozone. Let's add Ozone 9 instead of that old Ozone that I'm using on my Windows machine. I was using the multiband dynamics on that, so let's add just that. One thing that you will notice, and I hope that will not disturb the audio that much, is that a laptop has really loud fans. The MacBook Pro is no exception. It doesn't get that loud as other laptops that I've used, but when you sit like this and you're recording a video and you have the mic right here, then it might cause a problem. Now let's try and play the project and see what happens. Go to sleep. Okay, so first let me talk to you about the configuration that I have on the MacBook Pro. So I have the 2019 8-core i9 processor, 16 gigs of RAM. The video card has 4 gigs of RAM and I have 1 terabyte of SSD storage. It's not the basic intro model. I went with this one because it has 8 cores instead of 6 cores for the basic model. As you saw, the project runs really smooth. So for me, I think this MacBook Pro will really work for mixing with this sort of setup. A really nice audio interface. I have to test this audio fuse out even more to see how stable it is, how it performs on macOS. I really need to see how I get used to mixing on headphones. I really enjoy this USB hub in the back because, as you can see, it allows me to have my iLock and my Waves licenses, and I can just move between systems without any issue. So that's really amazing. The test was a really short one, and now I want to ask you, what do you want to see when it comes to audio on this MacBook Pro? Let me know in the comment section below. What test do you want to see? I can do it without a problem in the near future when I start working on the actual MacBook Pro review. For the moment, I'm really happy how this test performed. No issue on playback. That's one of my usual projects, and in the future I will probably have to test it with a full track out mix. But for mixes like this with the MP3 beat, with the 2-track and a few vocal tracks where you do a decent amount of processing, I think this machine will serve me well. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, hit the like button, follow me on Instagram, and see you guys next week.